Oh, cool. All right. Okay, so welcome to today's session. We're going to start in standing. So we're just going to really work on building some warmth in the body. Having the body a little bit warmer can really support the flow of lymphatic fluid. It can reduce our risk of injury. It's a nice way to start movement, and then we're going to come down to lie on our backs and we'll be doing some core work there. Okay, so just always remembering keeping everything pain and strain free, never pushing into discomfort. Feel that body working, feel those lovely stretches, but keeping it comfortable all the time. Okay, so let's just begin by really marching gently on the spot. So not taking the knees super high to begin with, just allow some freedom in the arms. So they might want to just start swaying a little bit as we come into this little march this morning. Seeing and feeling, maybe the breath deepening a little bit. And we start gently because this is how we kind of just allow ourselves to kind of drop into the body. We're not pushing ourselves super hard straight away. It's almost like, yeah, saying hello to the body this morning. So let's take some steps to the side of the mat. And when you get to one edge, you're going to start stepping back. And as you feel warmer, maybe the knees want to come a little bit higher. Good. Good. Coming back to the center. And then we're going to bring our feet kind of closer towards each other. We're going to take a little step to one side, a little knee bend, coming back to the center, taking the foot the other way, little knee bend, center, taking the foot to the other side, little knee bend, center. And you might want to bring the hands in front of the body in a little prayer in front of the chest as we step and open. And just taking this at your own pace again. So it might be that you're just taking your feet a little bit wide to hip width, or you might want to go a little bit wider. Just making sure however wide you're taking the feet, that the knees are tracking over the big toe and the second toe there. Good. They can be little micro bends, that's absolutely fine. All going a little bit deeper, pushing the bottom back and down, and the spine stays nice and long. Good. Coming back to center. Good. Coming back to a little march, taking the knees higher. The ankles are soft, so you feel like the knees are moving forwards and up, and the ankles are soft. And then let's do opposite hand to opposite knee. So getting a little bit of a twist here. Good. Hopefully you can feel your heart and your lungs starting to work a little bit harder, generating lovely warmth in your body. And often we can kind of come into sessions feeling like, a bit stagnant, a bit tired, but just feeling as the energy starts flowing, we start to get a little bit more energy, hopefully. Those lovely happy hormones, the endorphins releasing. Good. And then coming back to center, just shaking the legs out, shaking the arms out, shaking the body. Good. My mat moves around because it's on it's on a wooden floor, so I'm kind of have to keep bringing my mat back to center. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into some little squats again. If you have got discomfort in the knees, I know Pam, squats aren't nice for you, so you might just want to work with the arms. So we're going to reach up, the arms up above the head, and then exhale and reach the arms behind as you come into a little squat. So we're inhaling up, exhale back. But if you're not wanting to squat, you could just be reaching up and reaching back, reaching up and reaching back. So just doing what's right for you. Inhale up, exhale, reach back. Good. I'm doing it the wrong way around. Inhaling, exhale to reach up. Inhale, exhale. Good. Always keeping that knee tracking nicely. The spine stays long. Bottom reaches back and down. Take rest anytime you need to. So never pushing through, just because that's what I'm doing. Listening into your own body. Good. Reaching up. And then bringing your hands in a big circle the next time they're up in the air. Good. Very nice. Okay. So this time we are going to interlace the fingers and turn the palms to face out. Okay, and again, if you feel like your balance is challenged, this time we're going to be coming up and down on the front of the foot. So we're going to lift the heels. So if that's enough, you might want to hold on to something. If you feel like you can like challenge the balance more, then with those interlaced arms, we're going to reach them up and above the head, and then we're going to come up and down on the heels there. So just finding what's right for you. Is it that you can have the arms above the head and come up and down on the front of the foot, lifting the heels? Or is it better that you just hold on to something and come up and down on the heels? So just find what feels safe and just enough challenge, okay? But when you've got the arms above the head, can you get that sense if you keep reaching up and then the heels come back down towards the floor, you're really stretching through the sides of the body here. So I would say we inhale to reach up, exhale to lower the heels, but seeing if you can keep the hands reaching up. This is getting the calf muscle really working, getting the lymphatic fluid pumping back from the lower leg, back towards your heart, which is really good for us. Good, a couple more. Engage your core to lower yourself down. Inhale as we come up, exhale, engage the core as you lower down. So see if we can really control that descent. Good, and again, big sun circle with the hands. Bringing the hands back down by the sides. Good, shake that out. Okay, again, maybe you want to have some support here. We're going to get a little bit into the hips. All right, so I'm going to show you from this way, but it might be that you want to have the back of a chair or a windowsill or something to support yourself with. So I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to kind of bring that leg in front of my left and then open like a gate. And then I'm going to step my left in front of my right and open like a gate. Yeah. Okay, and it might be that you start with really small, subtle movements, yeah? And then as you feel more able, your knee might come a little bit higher. And don't go slowly so that you're controlling the movement. If we go fast, movements feel much easier often, but you're not going to be building that stability. And we're also much more at risk of injury. So we just take it slowly, engage your core. Yeah, really nice. This is supercharging the lymphatic system in the groin area. Opening and closing, really nice. Good, coming back to center, back to feet hip width apart. Let's circle the hips now. So just gently coming into some hip circles in one direction. Really nice. This is getting into the abdominal area where again we've got lots of lymph nodes. And then the other way. Listening in. These circles could be really small to begin with, if it's feeling at all uncomfortable. Good, back to center, really nice. Then we're going to do our joint freeing, so we're keeping the upper body absolutely like ragdoll relaxed, and we're going to just allow ourselves to turn to the right, lift the left heel, turn to the left, lift the right heel. And the arms aren't doing any work. Yeah, there's no muscle activity around the shoulders. The arms are just hanging heavy by your sides, and the movement in your lower body kind of propels the arms. And this is really lovely to free our joints. Really nice. Good. Coming back to making those circles smaller and smaller. Feel a sense of lengthening through the spine as you make those circles smaller, creating space between the vertebrae. Good. So let's come back to our mountain pose. So feet to hip width apart. Just check in on that kind of distance between the feet. Find those 3 points of balance, your big toe mound, so where your big toe joins your foot, your little toe mound, and the outside of each heel. Just feel that weight distribution and see if you can balance between those 2 feet. Good, coming up through the ankles to your knees, so just not locking the knees back, just a little soft bend there. Coming up through the hips, so our tailbone is released, so we're not tucking it under or overly pushing it back. A sense of freedom in the pelvic floor and the tailbone, so that you have a nice little curve in the lower back. Imagining your spine lengthening from your pelvis as if a piece of string goes all the way through your spine and out through the top of the head. Shoulders draw back and down. So just check that the neck is also soft and free to move here. Really nice. So just feeling that sense of being a mountain right now. So grounding down through your feet. Those lovely 3 points on each foot. So that strength and stability in our lovely solid mountain. That sense that the weathers, all the different weathers can come and go, but we'll stand there solid, unwavered. But also seeing if we can get that sense of the energy from the earth drawing up through the feet, up through the knees, up through the legs, up through the spine and out through the top of the head, so that lovely upward energy that really helps us feel kind of supported in our upright position as well. Good. And then from here, let's bring the fingertips behind the ears. Okay, and we're going to just round forwards a little bit, and then we're going to open the elbows wide to open through the front of the chest. Good. Then rounding, elbows come forward, stretching through the upper back, and then gently opening through the front of the chest. Good. And just keeping your kind of focus, your gaze where is comfortable. So it might not be that you want to really kind of arch and look upwards. That might not be comfortable for you. Just seeing where kind of it feels okay to bring the head and neck. Yeah. This is again really good for tightness through the front of the chest, lymphatic flow through the armpit area where we've got lots of lymph nodes. Good, coming back to center. So the next time the elbows come together, releasing the arms down and then circling the shoulders. So let's circle the shoulders backwards. So really bring your shoulders up towards your ears, back down and then round. Good. And then going the other way. So reversing. And then back to neutral. So just checking what neutral is and not allowing the shoulders to roll forward. Just coming to have the Chest nice and open, shoulders are gently back and down. Really nice. Dropping your left ear to your left shoulder, circling, so bringing the chin to chest and then right ear to right shoulder. Back to the center, rolling the other way. So it's really good to just release the neck in this way, unless you've got kind of chronic neck issues, and this might be something that you want to miss out if this is uncomfortable for you. But it's good if we've got a lot of muscular tightness. Good. Coming back to center. So the next time your chin's at your chest, you can bring your head back up to neutral. Good. Drawing your shoulders up towards your ears. Inhale. And then exhale, draw your fingertips down towards the floor. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, drawing down. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to draw down. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale, drawing down. So really stretching between the structures in the shoulders. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to draw down. Good. We're going to do our deep neck flexors in standing before we lie down. So we're going to strengthen those little muscles in the neck. So let's bring the finger to the chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Inhale together. Exhale to create that double chin as we tuck back, holding it, but keep breathing. And release and nod it out. So just making sure you keep yourself like at your head level. The chin doesn't come down, the chin doesn't come up. It's purely stays in that neutral position. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Tuck the chin backwards. Perfect. So your gaze stays ahead of you. And then release off, nod that out. We'll do one more. Inhale. Exhale, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Tuck the chin back. Feel that lengthening in the back of the neck. Good. And then releasing off. Nod it out. Very nice. Let's gently come from here to lie down on your mat. So take your time. Get whatever you're going to need. So we're going to want something under our head. I always like my sheepskin, so that's nice and cozy. Bring with you a strap and a yoga block. All right. So come down through side lying. To come onto your back, and we arrive in our lovely semi-supine. So the feet are hip width apart, the knees point towards the ceiling. Check that your head, neck and spine are in alignment. The hands can rest on the belly, arms in a diamond shape. So just arriving in your position of constructive rest here. So hopefully the body's feeling a little bit warmer. And we're going to maintain that warmth, okay, so that we're not suddenly going to cool down too much. So let's start pedaling the right leg forwards. So here we're mobilizing the knee and the hip. Knowing that as we mobilize, we're really supporting the release of that lovely lubricant of the joint from the joint capsule. Good. And maybe now is a good time to really work with the core. So drawing the belly button back towards the spine, pulling up on the pelvic floor gently. So that's like stopping ourselves pee mid-flow. And then reverse the pedal. Really nice. Good. Letting that foot come to the floor, just noticing the effect of that practice on that right side, and then start to pedal forward with the left leg. Good. And then reversing the pedal. Keeping your right knee pointing to the ceiling, so it might want to just flop out or in. Just keeping that activity around that leg, that hip particularly. Good. And release that foot to the floor. Very nice. Good. Let's bring the leg up towards the ceiling, and if you need to use a strap to keep the leg in that position, that's perfect. So popping it behind your thigh, and your upper arms can rest against the floor. And from here, we're going to circle the ankle one way. And the other way. Good. And then from here, maybe release the strap if you're using the strap. I want you to point your toes towards the ceiling and then draw some circles. So as if you were going to draw a circle with your toes on the ceiling. Now I really want you to engage the core here so we can keep the spine neutral. So we're keeping that little curve in the lower back. And seeing what's comfortable in terms of drawing these circles. So maybe you want to get a bit bigger, but what the key thing is here is that the spine stays in the same position. Keep breathing, really building strength around the hip joint here, and then drawing those circles in the other direction. Good. Really nice. And then releasing the foot to the floor, just noticing the effects of that practice. And then let's do the same on the other side. Left leg straightens up towards the ceiling. Maybe popping the strap in behind your thigh. Circling the toes one way. And the other way. Good. And then maybe releasing the strap if that's comfortable for you. And then just drawing some gentle circles with the toes as if you were drawing on your ceiling. Really engage the core. Good. And then circles the other way. Really nice. Well done. And releasing that leg to the floor. Very good. Let's come into our bridging. So bridging is really good for core stability. We can have different levels of complexity with this. I think today we're going to do hugging the elbows into the sides with the fingertips pointing to the ceiling. And we're going to inhale to push through the feet. The belly is soft. And then exhale, engage your core to salsa the hips today from side to side as you lower the pelvis to the floor. Good. Inhaling at the bottom of the movement and the core is soft. And then lifting the bottom towards the ceiling. Exhale, engage the core. Gently salsa the hips to the floor. Good. So the tailbone is going from one side of your mat to the other as you lower to the floor. So almost imagining, your pelvis is like a a feather floating to the ground. So slow the movement down, nice and controlled, nice and smooth. So seeing if with the movements we're doing, we're doing them in a nice, slow and gentle way. So that's, creating a sense of safety for the nervous system, a gentleness with yourself. Take rest at any time you need to. Good. Good. And releasing off. And then next time your pelvis reaches the floor, just wiggling the hips out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Releasing any tension in your lower back. Good. Let's work into some more hip stability and core. So let's take the right hand on top of the right knee, circle your right knee in a clockwise motion. Yeah, nice circles, clockwise movement. So this is really getting in, so you can maybe allow the hip to kind of really release to the sides and then coming back to the center with the support of the hand. And so that's really going to get into that range of motion. We're going to really be supporting the lubrication at the ends of the joints. Almost like the femur is like a mixing spoon and the hip bone is the mixing bowl here. And then going the other way. Seeing if the left knee can stay pointing towards the ceiling. Good. Releasing the hand now and coming back to clockwise motion and immediately probably sensing how we need to engage the core if we don't want the spine wobbling all over the place. So drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Gently pulling up on the pelvic floor. Keeping the movement slow. Noticing if the upper body is trying to get involved. Is there tension suddenly in the shoulders or the face or the neck? So letting the upper body relax so that it's the core and the hip that need to do the work here. And then going the other way. Anti-clockwise movements. Good. Good, releasing the foot to the floor. Just really have a sense of what that hip feels like now. And then let's try the other side. So left hand to left knee, clockwise, circles. Right knee points to the ceiling. And then the other way. Good, releasing the hand and then coming back to clockwise. Engage the core to keep the spine neutral. Good. And then the other direction. Good. Anti-clockwise. Good. Releasing that foot to the floor and just noticing the effects of that practice. Very nice. Good. Let's take the feet now nice and wide on the mat. Okay, the palms, the arms could come into a cactus shape. So like this, elbows at 90 degrees, palms, back of the hands against the floor. If that feels uncomfortable for you, you could just have the arms at 90 degrees, palms facing up. So just feels what's comfortable for you. And just allowing the knees gently to rock from side to side so the feet are as wide as your mat. Miss this one out if you have any spinal osteoporosis or anything that would mean that your spine is not stable to go into these positions. So we're getting into a little bit of rotation in the spine. We are getting a stretch through the front of the body. So if there's any scar tissue in the front of the body, this is starting to stretch. Okay, and the next time the knees come to the left, let the knees come all the way towards the floor. And if you feel that you've got any holding or bracing in the side of the body or around the hips, pop a bolster between the legs, under the legs. So just make sure you're comfortable. And once you're here, either breathing the breath into the sides of the ribs, or if you have scar tissue or tightness in the front of the body, breathe your breath in and under those structures. So you're almost massaging the body from the inside out here. Good. Twists are really nice to squeeze the organs, to detoxify the organs of stale blood. And it almost creates like a vacuum so that when we come out of our twists, we can, really draw in the fresher blood. Release the jaw, wiggle the jaw. Have a good yawn if that comes. Then inhaling together. Exhale, engage the core. So draw the belly button to the spine to gently bring your knees back to center, and then taking the knees to the other side. And you might notice a really big difference with the other side. So you might need to change the arm position. This side, you might need a bit more like a bolster or pillows under the legs, between the legs. So just listening in. What's the body asking for? Bringing the floor up to meet us with props is such an important thing to start to do so that the body can relax into these postures. And then you can bring your attention to the breath. And to the act of letting go. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Engage the core, bringing the knees back to center, bringing your feet back to hip width apart. So you're coming back to your semi-supine, maybe needing to realign the spine a little bit here. All right, very nice. Well done. Let's do a little bit of core work. So there's your different levels. Okay, today I'm going to teach you one of the dead bug ones. So we're going to bring the hands up so the fingertips are facing up to pointing up towards the ceiling at shoulder height, and we're going to really draw the shoulders back towards the floor. So it's almost like you're planting your shoulders into the floor, plugging them in. The hips are at 90 degrees. And we're going to inhale here And as you exhale, engaging the core and heel tapping with your left heel and maybe reaching your right arm behind you. Good. Inhale there, soft core. Exhale, engage the core to bring the hands back to the starting position, the legs back to the start. Inhaling, soft core. Exhale, engage the core, heel tap with your left heel and your right heel and your left hand reaches behind. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, engage the core to come back to starting position. Inhale, soft core. Inhale, soft core, sorry. Exhale, engage the core. Left heel tap, right hand up and over. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, engage the core to come back up to your starting position. Good. Inhale. Exhale, engage. Right heel taps, left hand reaches up and over. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, engage the core to come back up. Good. Inhale. Exhale, engage the core. Left heel taps, right hand reaches up and over. Inhale at the bottom of the movement. Exhale, engage the core to come back to center. Good. Inhale. Exhale, right heel taps, left hand reaches up and over. Really nice, everyone. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center, and then hugging the knees, both knees into the chest and gently rocking side to side. Really good work there. Very nice. And as we rock from side to side, we're really squeezing the lymphatic fluid from the back of the body all the way around to the front. Massaging the paraspinal muscles. Good. Let's take both hands onto the both knees now, and we're going to circle both knees at the same time. So if you can feel here, as the knees draw away, we're massaging into the pelvis. As the knees come towards, we're kind of moving up the back. So like depending on kind of where you want to work, you get those circles with the knees bigger or smaller. So it's a really nice little self massage to do something like this, and then take the knees in the opposite direction. Good. Really nice. Coming back to center, feet come back to our semi-supine, and we're going to gently roll onto your side now and work into the shoulders. And we'll do a little bit of hip work as well. So double up what's underneath your head, because that's going to really support the alignment of your spine. Check that you're not going full fetal on me. So to keep the spine long. It's so tempting, isn't it? It's like, okay, good night. Then we're going to bring the hands at shoulder height, the palms connected. And the legs are a little bit bent with the legs stacked on top of each other. So let's now work into our shoulder and chest. So we're going to inhale to reach that top arm up and over. And we're coming into a little opening in the upper body twist. And then exhale to bring the hands back to connect. I need to move away from the wall. Inhale to open. And if you're feeling super tight in the chest, then bend the top elbow. That will really help. And remembering, if you do have any osteoporosis or spinal instability, don't just bring the fingers to point to the ceiling and then come back to the starting position. So not coming into the twist. And emotionally, like energetically, we are working on opening the front of the heart as we open the hands. And as we bring the hands back together, we're pulling the shoulder blades apart. So it's almost like exposing the back of the heart. Good. And then the next time the hands connect, we're going to come into our circles. take the top fingers, and it's almost like we're going to brush the fingertips along the floor above the head in a big circle, then opening again into that nice stretch, and then bringing the hands down through the lower half of the circle. Joanna and I have got to move our water bottles. I haven't got a lid on mine today, so I really am being quite edgy. Good. So really mobilizing the shoulder joint here. Drawing a bubble of protection around yourself, if that makes sense to you. Letting positive energies in, but protecting us from more negative influences that might be around us. Good. And the next time the hands come back together, bringing the lower hand as an extra little pillow under your head. And then the top hand could almost have like lizard claws, and and a little bit of scaffolding in front, so it's supporting us to stay on our side as we work into the legs. And we're going to keep the feet connected. We're going to lift the top leg up, and then exhale to lower the knee. Good. Inhale, top knee rises. Clamshell legs here. Exhale to close. And it might be what you want to lift both feet off the floor to do this. That's going to add a little bit of extra challenge to this exercise. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, slowing the movement down to really build strength. Good. And releasing the legs. Good. Letting that top hip release, and maybe just giving yourself a little rub. And then straightening the top leg now. We're going to trace the foot along the inner thigh of the lower leg. Point the leg to the ceiling, and then exhale to lower that leg with control. Inhale, trace the lower leg. Point. Exhale to lower. Inhale to trace and point. Exhale to lower. One more. Should we make it really count? Should we go as slow as we can, as if we're moving through treacle with that top leg? Slow, slow, slow. Strength is building really nice, everybody. Good. And a well-earned rub on that leg. And when you're ready, rolling onto your other side, and we'll do the same for the other side. Keep that lovely balance. So keep the length in the spine. The arms come out, and at shoulder height, the palms connect. We're going to inhale to reach that top arm over. So rolling onto the upper back if that's safe for you with your spine. And then exhale to reconnect the hand. Inhale to open. Imagining your arms are like wings of a bird. So you're opening that full wingspan on the inhalation. Exhale to bring the hands back together. Good. The next time the hands connect, let's draw those circles. So the top fingers brush the floor as we open through the top half of the circle, come into that little twist, and then exhale through the lower half of the circle. Remembering if you have any osteoporosis or spinal instability, you don't come into the full rotation or that rotation in the spine. Good. Good. The next time the hands connect, bring your lower hands a little extra pillow under your head. The top hand, you can have your lizard claws scaffolding. Good. And then we're going to come into our clamshell legs. So your feet can stay connected, will stay connected, and either they rest on the floor or hover above the floor. We inhale to lift the top knee. Exhale to lower the knees. Or knee, sorry. Inhale to lift the top knee. Exhale to lower. Good. And the next time the knees connect, release the legs back to the floor. Give yourself a little rub. And then we're going to straighten the top leg. Then from here, we're going to trace the top foot along the inner of the lower leg. Point the toes to the ceiling. And then exhale to lower that leg straight with control. Inhale. Trace the lower leg. Then point. Exhale to lower the leg. Good. And the next time the legs connect, give yourself a lovely, lovely, lovely rub. Lovely. I forgot to do that nice and controlled, but I saw that everybody did that. That last one really slowly. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Let's come now to roll onto your backs. Making sure that what's under your head is supportive. So I would, if you're doubled up, then I would come back to undoubling it, back to your nut. So you're backing on your back. We're going to come into our Shavasana. So make sure you're going to be warm. Okay. Pop something under your knees so that your lower back is supported. Maybe popping something gently over the eye area to block the light out if that's comfortable for you. And just really letting yourself totally relax now. So let's just start by crunching the feet up. So like making a fist with your feet, both of your feet, fist, 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 fist with the feet, and then let the feet completely relax. Good. Then drawing both your toes towards your head, so you're stretching through your calf muscle. So really stretch, stretch, stretch through the calf muscle. And then let go. And then let's really contract the quadricep muscle, the plunge of the thigh. So drawing your kneecap up your legs, so straightening the whole of the leg, straightening at the knee, holding that straight, and then relax. Good. Let's come up through the body. Let's squeeze the gluteus muscles, your buttock muscles. So squeeze them together. Squeeze, 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 and then release. So we're just feeling that difference between tension and relaxation. Let's come through to the hands. So squeezing your fists as hard as you can. Squeeze, 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 and then let go. Good. Let's squeeze the shoulders up towards your ears. So drawing your shoulders up to your ears, squeeze, 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 and then release. And then just really letting the whole body now fully relax and let go into the support underneath. Just having spent a little moment feeling the difference between tension and relaxation. Letting go of all efforts now. And allowing the body to absorb all the positive effects of our practice together today. Knowing that this is the most important pose in yoga, which might seem really odd because it feels like we're not doing anything. But actually it's about a practice of just being. Allowing. Feeling the breath breathing your body. And if you're feeling relaxed right now, see if you can relax some more. Just noticing if there's parts of the body that can let go a little bit more, just releasing, not pushing or concentrating too hard on that. Just seeing, oh, yes, my shoulder can let go a little bit more. Oh, there was a little bit more of letting go for the buttocks, for example. And now, if you have the opportunity to stay resting, then I would highly recommend that you do so. But if you do need to come out and continue with your day, then now is a nice opportunity to maybe just visualize yourself lying there on your mat and what surrounds you in the space you're in. Maybe deepening the breath a little bit. Some audible sighs and exhales. Bringing some gentle movement into the toes and the fingers. Stretching and yawning as you might do after a deep sleep. And when you're ready, rolling onto your most comfortable side. Taking a lovely deep sighing breath there, in through your nose, sighing out through the mouth. And gently coming up into sitting when you're ready. And if it's comfortable for you, maybe bringing the hands into the front of your heart, your shoulders draw back and down, bowing your head to your heart. And really saying a thank you to yourself for making the effort to get on your mat today. And for this precious time for taking care of yourself. Knowing that we need to fill our own cups first. We need to put our own oxygen masks on first. And I thank you all for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Namaste. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Go gently, drink plenty of water, and I look forward to seeing those of you who can join next week.